In World War II, battles were won with heavy tanks, powerful fighter planes, and massive military force. But in 1943, the Allies executed the most absurd and brilliant spy mission in human history. They used a dead homeless man to fool Adolf Hitler and completely change the outcome of the war. This is the incredible true story of Operation Mincemeat. By early 1943, the Allied forces were preparing to invade southern Europe from North Africa. Their main target was the island of Sicily, which served as the critical gateway directly into Italy. The main problem was geography. The location was so obvious that even the enemy knew Sicily was next. Knowing this, Hitler heavily fortified Sicily with thousands of Nazi troops, heavy artillery, and armored divisions. An amphibious assault on a heavily defended island meant the Allies were facing a guaranteed massacre. They desperately needed a masterpiece of deception to trick Germany into moving its defenses elsewhere. The mission was handed to British intelligence, specifically officers Ewan Montagu and Charles Cholmondeley. They recalled an intelligence memo written by James Bond creator Ian Fleming, outlining clever deception ideas.
The plan: plant fake top-secret military documents on a corpse and let the sea wash it to enemy shores.
If the Germans believed the letters, they would shift their armies away from Sicily to protect other areas. The first step was finding a body. It had to look convincingly like a soldier who drowned in a plane crash at sea. They located the body of Glyndwr Michael, a homeless Welshman who had tragically passed away in London. With no family to claim him, the intelligence service secretly preserved the body in a cold morgue. Next, they created an entirely fake identity for him: Captain William Martin of the Royal Marines. To fool Nazi inspectors, Captain Martin needed an entire life packed into his pockets. They placed emotional love letters from a fake fiancée named Pam, along with an engagement ring receipt. They added cigarette stubs, keys, an angry letter from his bank manager, and theater ticket stubs. Every tiny detail was designed, so German intelligence agents would find a living, breathing person behind the uniform. Finally, they prepared the secret military letters, typed on official British High Command stationery. The letters stated that the Allied forces were planning to invade Greece and Sardinia, not Sicily. The letters casually mentioned that the apparent preparations for Sicily were just a clever decoy. To ensure the papers wouldn't be lost at sea, the briefcase was chained directly to Captain Martin's belt. The body was packed in dry ice inside a specially constructed, airtight steel cylinder canister. On April 19, 1943, the British submarine HMS Seraph departed from Scotland, carrying the canister. They navigated secret ocean routes, heading straight toward the southwestern coast of Spain. Huelva, Spain was chosen because it was crawling with active German intelligence agents. On April 30, 1943, HMS Seraph quietly surfaced under the cover of night near Huelva. The officers brought the canister up to the deck and carefully extracted the preserved body. They attached a life jacket, secured the chained briefcase, and whispered a short military prayer. They gently pushed Captain Martin into the tide, allowing the coastal currents to carry him to shore. He hauled the body onto his boat and immediately turned it over to Spanish military authorities. Although Spain was officially neutral, many high-ranking Spanish officers secretly sympathized with Nazi Germany. British diplomats in Spain immediately launched a frantic campaign demanding the unopened briefcase back. They flooded the local embassy with urgent messages. pretending to be utterly terrified of a security leak. This controlled panic convinced German agents in Spain that the documents were top secret and genuine. German spy Karl Erich Kuhlenthal bribed local Spanish officers to let him examine the contents. Spanish officials carefully pulled the letters out, using a thin needle tool without breaking the wax seals. They photographed every page of the letters and handed the high-resolution copies directly to the Abwehr. The documents were dried, resealed, and returned to the British, who acted relieved that nothing was compromised. Back in London, British forensic experts examined the returned letters under ultraviolet light.
They confirmed the fibers had shifted and the papers were red. The bait had been swallowed whole.
A famous telegram was sent to Winston Churchill. Mincemeat swallowed rod, line, and sinker. The photographed copies were rushed directly to Berlin for review by Adolf Hitler himself. Let us examine these papers. German High Command analysts meticulously cross-checked Captain Martin's pocket items, and because the personal backstory was so rich and detailed, Nazi intelligence concluded the papers were genuine. The letters clearly stated that the main Allied targets were Greece and Sardinia, not Sicily. He transferred elite panzer tank divisions all the way from France to reinforce the Greek defenses. German battlecruisers, torpedo boats, and extensive minefields were redirected to protect Greece. Thousands of German troops were pulled away from Sicily, leaving the island dangerously underdefended. Even when Allied fleet movements were spotted near Sicily, Hitler insisted it was merely a distraction. He firmly believed Greece was the primary invasion point, until it was far too late to react. On July 10, 1943, the Allies officially launched Operation Husky, the invasion of Sicily. Allied troops charged the beaches, catching the remaining German defenses completely off guard. The defense of Sicily was far weaker than anticipated, all thanks to the ghost officer's letters. Allied forces secured key airfields and ports within the first 48 hours of landing. German High Command was completely paralyzed, waiting for a Greek invasion that never happened. By then, thousands of Allied soldiers had established an unbreakable stronghold in southern Italy. Military historians estimate that Operation Mincemeat saved over 10,000 lives during the invasion. Dozens of British and American warships were saved from heavily planned torpedo counterattacks. The strategic success directly triggered the collapse of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini's government. The diversion was so powerful that Hitler kept valuable armored divisions locked in Greece until war's end. All because of a homeless man who became the ultimate secret agent long after his death. After World War II ended, the true identity of Captain William Martin remained highly classified. His body was buried with full British military honors in the cemetery of Huelva, Spain.
For decades, respectful visitors left flowers for the brave officer who helped turn the war.
In 1997, official British archives finally revealed the true story of Glyndwr Michael.
The British government officially added his real name to the historic grave marker in Spain.
Ian Fleming later drew heavy inspiration from Operation Mincemeat when writing his world-famous James Bond novels. The psychological fallout on Nazi intelligence was immense, breeding extreme paranoia among German commanders. They began doubting genuine intercepted documents, assuming every piece of news was another British deception. This deep hesitation crippled German strategic decision-making for the remainder of World War II. Operation Mincemeat proved that creative intellect and psychological strategy could defeat massive military strength. It remains the gold standard of wartime misdirection, studied in military academies across the world. Without firing a single bullet, 2 brilliant officers and a deceased homeless man changed the fate of Europe. Glyndwr Michael's legacy transformed an obscure life into one of history's most extraordinary victory stories, a powerful testament to how imagination, precision, and sheer nerve can alter human history forever. An unbelievable, true historical operation that saved thousands of lives and reshaped the modern world.
If you enjoyed this unbelievable history story, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another wild chapter from history.